Hey, it's Kim Commando Today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to commando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. Now, I don't know if you guys heard, but TikTok opened up its brand new shop this past week. Yes, and a lot of people are pretty concerned because, as it turns out, that they're selling fake snail mucus. That's
fake?
Right. Yes, snail mucus. You know what they're using it for?
Well, for your skin, right?
Yes, your skin and wrinkles. Perfect. I had lunch past weekend with my 18-year-old niece, and her skin actually looked really good. And I said, Mia, what are you doing? She's like, snail mucus. I'm like, what is that?
The call screener on my radio show, I do a radio show here in the Valley, he actually got caught because he's been using snail mucus for about a month and a half now.
Does it look good?
I think he looks exactly the same. Smells a little weird.
I've snail mucus. It's nice.
Really?
Yeah. It's part of the Korean, 20-step skincare.
But I
situation.
just don't know, how do they get the snails to sneeze on people?
What's going on with
no, they milk them.
Oh, that's even grosser.
So there are people in the world. Oh my God. Can't you just see them in all the factories in China?
I actually looked it up. They have the snails in this little snail farm, and they just slither around, and then they scoop it up, and then they put in another additive. 4% of it is some sort of hydration something.
Okay.
They put in the hydration, and then they sell it. So when you're buying it, it's 96% snail mucus.
Well, on TikTok, they're saying 96% of it being sold is fake.
What is it?
Snail
What are they
mucus.
selling?
You don't want to know.
I don't know.
Hair gel?
If it's under $5, then it's probably fake snail mucus. So that would be an Escar Nope. Oh, I know. Hey, on that happy note, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Kim Commando Today. It's our Friday edition, which is different than our Monday through Thursday edition. Because on Fridays, that's when we like to have fun. And joining us, as always, we have our amazing content queen, Ali Seligman. Ali, thanks for being here. How are you going to impress everybody with your extreme intellect today?
Everybody talks about Chat GPT, but we don't give that much FaceTime to Bard. But there are actually some cool things from Google Bard. I promise, things you might actually want to use. Yeah, Bard. I know.
I've never heard of it.
And then if you have an iPhone, that's both of you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, you have already updated. Hopefully you're on iOS 17. I'm going to tell you some of the cool new stuff you can do with it.
And then joining us, well, that wasn't Ali's voice in a deeper tone. That's Andrew Babitsky.
No,
Andrew,
this is Ali.
Yeah. Andrew, I'm so glad that you're here. And as you mentioned, you do another show in Phoenix.
On KEZ, 99.9 FM.
And then what do you do there?
I co-host the morning show with Beth McDonald.
Oh, nice. And so how are you going to impress us today?
Well, I got a text message in the middle of this week that made absolutely no sense, and I found out it is part of an internet trend.
Ooh, bum, 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 bum.
Suspense, cliffhanger.
Yes, that's it. All right, we'd like to get started with the news. And have you ever thought that maybe your significant other was two-timing you? I mean, where you're like...
Never.
Never?
I'm divorced. Of course I can't.
We're not going to go there. It's a dark alley. It's just not happening. Well, as it turns out, big news this past week that this woman was on TikTok. And she's like, I thought that my boyfriend totally cheating on me. So what she did is she checked his Venmo transactions.
Okay.
And they were public. Unless you make your transactions private, they're public so everybody can see it.
Yeah.
And found out he was over at her house. And then she said, honey, where were you before this? She says, I was getting the oil change. Turned it out 20 minutes ago. He was Venmoing this girl money.
What do you say in the comments to my boo? Or, I mean, how obvious is it? A kissy face. That's how you always get caught. Emojis always bring people
Why
down.
was he paying her?
You know what? I thought about that too.
Maybe for dinner?
Yeah. I mean, something. I think there's something weird going on there.
Yeah.
If you're having an affair and you're going Dutch, I think you have bigger problems.
Completely agree.
That's you know what? You're absolutely right.
You shouldn't be married to a guy who's having an affair and going Dutch.
Well, Gen Zers now have a new trend.
Which is?
That when they go out, the first date that the guy pays. And then the second date that the girl pays. Now, if there's a third date, then what they do is they kind of do just double Dutch or they do something. Now, if there's a fourth date, the guy will ask for all of his money back. Yeah.
This is a trend?
Yes.
Why couldn't it have started when I was younger?
Exactly.
So first date, we're going to Sonic. And then second date, we're going to P.F. Chang's.
Something like that. I ate at P.F. Chang's the other day. When's the last time you've been there?
Oh, years.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a decade.
Right. So I did, the whole Postmates. It was bad.
Oh, no.
Bad.
Bummer.
Yeah,
That is a bummer.
I know. I was really disappointed in that. And, it's super expensive.
But I ate at Payway, which is just...
Payway is better.
That's not good for that restaurant, Ben.
I know.
If their fast food version is better, that's not good.
All right. So what do you got for us in the news department?
I got a text message
Yes.
out of nowhere from the woman I'm dating. And the text message read, "How often do you think about the Roman Empire?" I was like, excuse me?
Not every day.
Is this code?
Can you please explain? Was this meant for your other boyfriend? Because I don't know what's going on here.
Check her Venmo.
And I honestly answered, never. I never think about the Roman Emperor. Maybe that for a half an hour after I watch Gladiator, but otherwise I don't think about it.
It wasn't there.
So there's a TikTok trend where women are asking their partners or significant others how often they think about the Roman Empire. And these guys are answering 2 to 3 times a week.
What?
Every single
Really?
day. Yes.
Okay, is this like a code for something?
So the Today Show tried to explain it. So that's what I thought it was. I thought Roman Empire was something, a little adult.
Yes.
But the Today Show is saying that with the grow in podcasts like the Joe Rogan Experience and a lot of male-oriented podcasts, that guys were starting to think along this line. And that's why they're thinking about it. But the truth is, it's all fake. It's not real. One woman asked her boyfriend if he thought about it. He was a Roman Empire nerd, and he's like every single day, and everyone is trying to pick up on it and make it a trend on the internet. It's not real. No one's sitting there thinking about the Roman Empire every
They're
single
not doing
day.
that?
No.
No, not at all?
So they tried to find the female equivalent.
Oh, okay. I like
What
this.
would be the
Yes.
thing? So let me ask you both. How often do you think about the Salem witch trials?
At least monthly.
Okay, monthly?
Honestly,
You're
Really?
serious?
Why?
I don't know. It just seems to come up.
So you're sitting there watching television. And
Or
you're
it comes
like,
up in conversation. I just feel like this is a...
I can't remember the last time I've thought about the Salem witch trials.
okay, maybe it is real because that's what they're saying the female equivalent is. And she's sitting over here thinking she's going to get drowned.
No, I'm not a
Scarlet
witch.
Letter.
If only, but no.
And this is how bad I was when she said, "How often do you think about the Roman Empire?" I was like, "You talking about a Trojan horse? That's not even the Roman Empire." So that's how little I think about it.
That's kind of what I thought about, too.
But
That's
it's just-
embarrassing for
It's
us.
just a way for people to get views. If you watch any of
yeah.
the videos on TikTok or Instagram Reels, you can tell these people are absolutely acting and faking it for clicks.
So we should make up a trend. That is the takeaway here, because if we make up a really good trend that we can get everyone to cover,
Yes, because you get all the duets.
Yeah.
You'll
Yes.
get all the original reposts.
Today's Show will write about why the heck.
And that was actually another thing, because when the Today Show talked about it, they didn't show the original video. They showed one of the later videos, and the original video poster was mad because they didn't get credit for
Oh,
it.
I would be upset too.
Yeah, that's my stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Give me my clicks.
Okay, let's brainstorm because we need a trend. So we'll think about that later.
All right.
Okay.
Really, you're going to talk about Google Bard?
I really am going to talk about Google Bard.
What is Google Bard? Is that the thing? I was on Google yesterday.
Yes.
And it popped up on the bottom and was like, "Hey, would you like to try our new AI?"
Yes.
And I immediately clicked no because I thought they were going to steal my social security number.
We will actually get to that, the
Okay.
privacy part of it, and kind of how I'm thinking about it. But yeah, we talk about Chat GPT a lot, not much for Bard. They came a little bit later. The first showing was subpar.
Oh, that was really bad.
It was really bad.
You know what? So when ChatGPT came out, I thought this was so funny. And that Google was sitting there on the sidelines going like, "Oh, well, this isn't going to be anything because we're Google."
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like in January, it's like, holy crap, and then they brought in like Sergey Brin and Larry Page. Meanwhile, they're living like in some island in Malta with their $8 billion, and now they're all back to work.
Why didn't they just buy it? You're Google. Just buy it.
You know what? I don't think that Sam Altman would have.
I don't think they'd sell. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think Google would have.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a price.
Now,
but
you
I
know
get
who
what you're
Sam
saying.
Altman is, right?
He's a tech guy.
Well, he's the guy behind OpenAI.
Yes, he is.
That's behind ChatGPT.
Right.
Okay. So Ian You know Ian.
Your son.
Probably last time you saw Ian, he was...
Yay big.
Yeah, now he's 6'3".
That's too tall. That's taller than me.
I always like when people say, where did he get his height? And I'll say, from his father, of course.
Absolutely.
And then they look at you like, is there something we should know?
Is Barry not his father?
Because Barry's shorter than Kim.
Is Michael Jordan his real father?
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Secret safe.
Okay. But anyway, he met Sam Altman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he said he's a really nice guy. Okay, but anyway, we just totally took over
We
you.
digress.
Okay.
You
All right.
digress. Okay. Well, there are actually cool things now in Bard that it can do that you can't really do with ChatGPT. Okay, so think about your whole Google ecosystem if you use Google. Your Gmail, your Docs, your calendar, your chats, all this stuff, right? With Bard now, you can search among all your stuff. And you might be saying like, well, whatever, fine. You can already search.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Go to my Gmail and search.
Yeah.
Yes, like,
but
what's the
this
big deal with
does everything. So some of the examples they gave, which I think are actually pretty cool. You are planning a trip with some friends. Okay. You can ask Bard, okay, get the dates that work for everybody, because maybe you sent an email that said, when do you want to take this trip? It will look up flight and hotel information for you. It will give you Google Maps directions from the airport to the place you're staying. And it'll even give you like examples of things to do there or videos or places to go,
Oh,
things
so
to
that's
try.
handy.
That's pretty handy.
You can't get that at ChatGPT.
You can't. This one is awesome. So you're applying for a new job and you want a little help because that's annoying, right? So you can type in, find my resume from 2022, and it'll look in your Google Drive. It'll find your resume and you can say, summarize it to a paragraph so that I can send an email. So it'll do this stuff for you like within your actual documents, which... That's pretty neat. Chat can't do that.
So is this Google admitting that they are reading your emails
yeah.
all the time?
Oh, sure.
Forever? Because they have to do that to get this information to work.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Yes, they do. Or it could be things like, okay, somebody sent you an email that's like, I'm getting married in, I don't know, your hometown. You really don't want to go to this wedding. You can just say, like, can you please respond to this email for me? And Bard can come up with an email probably nicer than the one you're going to write where you're like, there's no way that I'm going back to that hellhole.
Where does Bard exist? So if I want to ask
in
them...
the cloud, Andrew.
If I want to ask Bard to write an email this so I don't have to go to Kim's wedding... Where would I go to get that done?
To Michael. There are a few different ways to access it. So you can just go to Google and you can pull up Bard right there when you're logged in Google search itself. When you open up a Gmail draft, there is a little icon. I think it's like a lightning bolt situation, and that will open up Bard. So it's interspersed in all the different products.
All right. So you just have to find whatever you need to click on to activate it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
Privacy. Yes.
None. Done. That's
all. Okay.
You know what? This is kind of how...
P in Google stands for privacy.
Hey, there you go. Okay. Kind of the way I think about it is we all choose maybe a company or two, hopefully no more, that we give a lot of our data to. Maybe for Kim with your iPhone and your iPad and your Mac, maybe that's Apple.
Yes.
Yes. For me with my Android and my Google accounts and all my stuff, it's Google. Maybe you have one of those, both of those.
I'm pretty much in the Google world except for my phone.
Yeah. And I think at some point we do trade a lot of our privacy for convenience because this stuff is convenient. They make cool stuff that we want to use because they want our information. We don't want to pay for it. Right. And so that's what we get, right? We trade knowing, okay, this AI is looking at all my emails and can look through all my documents, which we already knew they were doing.
Because, and I'll give you an example, and I'm sure you guys aren't going to know this, but I booked a trip and I purchased through Travelocity, used my Gmail account. They sent me the confirmation. And then like 3 days later, this whole Google travel thing pops up where it's got my itinerary and my ticket.
It's nice
links.
though.
It was convenient, but immediately I was like, I didn't set this up. I didn't ask Google to do that.
That's exactly the thing, right? Kim saying, well, that's nice. It's convenient. You saying like, oh, but it's both. It's both. And some people don't want it, and that's fine. You don't have to use Bard. Some people like me, yeah, it seems great. Give it to me. You already know all my stuff. I don't care.
They already have.
They already have everything. Okay, so now I'm not going to name names, but I wasn't invited to a wedding.
Okay.
Okay, but the wedding page popped up in a chat.
Okay.
Okay. And
can I ask a question?
Yes.
Would you have gone to this wedding?
No.
Okay. But yet you're still upset you weren't invited.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Okay. So the question is, it says on the bottom, I mean, I probably wouldn't have gone for numerous reasons. But I saw, right underneath where it said, like, no alcohol will be served at the wedding, and don't even try sneaking in any alcohol at the wedding.
Okay.
It said, if you're going to send us a gift, call us and tell us what it is, because we may not want it.
Are you serious?
That's the best gift, right?
So what am I supposed to do? Call them up?
Now, wait a minute. Why are you giving a gift? You weren't invited.
Well, that's what Barry said.
You weren't invited to the...
Yes, he said.
You're not responsible
And
for a
well,
gift.
I said, well, I'm kind of like in charge of the family now. Like when my mom died, she kind of like, she did. She looked at me and she said, you're the family matriarch now. Barry said she'd probably send a mass card. Like
just get him alcohol.
I should.
Send him a bottle of wine.
Something like the wine of the month club or something like that.
I think you should get them a gift, not because they deserve the gift, but because it reflects nicely on who you are as the leader of the family.
That's what I was
But do
thinking.
not call them.
Yeah,
100% don't check.
I thought I'd like just throw like a gift card
There
or
you go.
something in
Yeah.
an envelope.
Nothing over $50.
Really? I was thinking about like 100.
But they didn't invite. Okay, the gift at a wedding is supposed to pay for your meal, right?
Yes,
And so if you're not invited, you have no meal to cover.
that's true. All right.
It's a free $50 for someone they didn't even want there.
I'll give them $50. But I've never seen anything like that before.
No.
And that
I've seen people say like just cash or gift cards or whatever, and that's okay, fine. But
they also
imagine.
They also said that if you didn't want to give a gift, that you could donate to Planned Parenthood.
Okay.
I've never heard of wedding
lot of
donations.
guidelines.
Okay, or some global warming initiative.
Give to both. Give each a $25 gift card to Amazon.
There you go.
I was talking to my niece about this on Sunday when we went out for lunch. The one with the snail mucus. And she said,
She's going to be okay.
she said, you know what? She's so funny. She said, what you ought to do, she said, is you get on your plane and do a selfie with the plus sign.
Right.
And say, I don't know how many carbon credits I need.
Well, you're definitely not invited to the next wedding.
No, not at all.
No.
All right, on that happy note, coming up, we have some great tips. I'm going to talk about how gross your hotel room is. Allie, you have some new features that you're going to be talking about?
I do, yes, for iPhones.
Yes. And then, Andrew, what are you going to be talking about?
I have an iPhone tip as well.
Oh.
You better not steal mine.
Oh, no, yours...
Mine's dumb, so you won't have it in your
No,
apartment.
yours is actually a good tip. These are brand new things in iOS 17.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so stay right where you are.
Come strengthen your pack at the new Great Wolf Lodge in Manteca. With over 50 attractions, we wanted to see how many we can name in the remaining seconds of this ad.
River Canyon Run, Oliver's Moonstone Maze, Tin Paw Bowling, Howler's Peak Ropes Course, Magi Quest, Slaptail Pond Wave Pool, Build-A-Bear Workshop, Storytime, a 4-story water
Only
fort,
40 more to
Movie
go.
Kills, Wolftail Drop
And now that a getaway to Great Wolf Lodge in Manteca is just a short ride away, families have time to experience every attraction at the lodge. Great Wolf Lodge. Strengthen the pack.
Hey, we're just so thrilled that you're here with us. And just a quick reminder that this podcast is not a replacement for our free newsletters. I mean, back in March, I don't know if you know this, Andrew, back in March, I totally blew up all our newsletters. Because you remember what they used to look like?
Yeah.
They were kind of crappy.
You blew them up?
Yep, blew them up. And we said, like, these have to be great. These have to be awesome. And then we had, I don't know, like 150,000 subscribers. And then we have just recently crossed the 600,000 subscriber milestone.
Good job blowing up. It works. Looks like it paid off.
You know what my goal is?
A Google?
4 million. I want 4 million
4
subscribers.
million?
Yes.
Why that number?
4 is a new number to me. They started at 1, and then it was 2.
Now it's at
We
4.
skipped 3.
You know
Sure.
why? Because I was listening to
boy.
another podcast, and they have a newsletter, and they just sold it for $75 million.
And they had
And
4
they had
million
4 million
subscribers.
subscribers. So I thought,
How many of the millions do I get when we...
we'll figure something out.
Okay,
we
good.
will.
All right.
Because you know what? Allie and I are writing these like every single day together.
She deserves something.
She does.
Maybe a $50 gift card
$50 gift
and a
card.
bucket of snail mucus.
to Home Depot. There you go. So if you're not already getting our newsletters, make sure that you do. Sign up right now over at getkim.com. It's easy to subscribe. It's easy to cancel. You can go ahead. You can sign up right now over at getkim.com. All right, so this is part of the podcast because you're still relatively new, Andrew. We like to pass along some tips that people can use and take home with them and pass along. And so Maddie and I were talking about this the other day. And she said, have you ever thought about how gross the remote is in a hotel room?
Oh.
Yes, but that's because of Dane Cook. Are you familiar with the comedian?
Yes.
I'm going to get a little blue here, okay? But what he likes to do is before he leaves a hotel room, he takes the batteries out of the remote and puts them in a personal, private place.
Oh, no.
And then he puts them back into the remote upside down. So when you come into the hotel room, you grab the remote, it's not working, you check the batteries, flip them around, put the cover back on, and now it's working. And you've now shared an intimate moment with him.
How many people have touched Dane Cook's batteries?
His batteries. Oh, his batteries.
Okay, his batteries.
Okay, what made him think of this idea anyway?
Because dudes are gross, Kim. That's the
He
answer.
was sitting there thinking about the
Can
Roman
you confirm?
Empire, and he thought this would be a great idea. Yeah, I mean, all guys have had practical jokes against people that only we know is a joke, and no one else gets it. Before I was married, my future wife, I met her aunt, and her aunt said, "You work in the radio, so Babinski, is that a radio name?" And I was like, "Yeah, it is. My real name's Alan Henderson." Not my real name. But again, only a joke for me. And then 3 years later at the wedding, she comes up to me and she's like, "I saw the certificate. It's got your radio name on it." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Your real name's Alan Henderson." I'm like, "No, it's not. You're
Andrew
crazy."
Babinski. Yeah, and I'm a nice Irishman. Come on.
Exactly. So we all do those kind of jokes that are only for us.
Well, the remote research out is that it's 20 times dirtier than the average toilet seat. Like said, unless it's the batteries. Okay, so then it's really...
Then it may be 100 times dirtier.
So other things on the list, light switches. Okay. The toilet seat handle.
I know the cups or the glasses you're not supposed to use in a hotel room.
Okay, the bedspreads.
Oh, I immediately take off the bedspread.
What do you do with them?
I put it on the floor.
And where do you sleep? What do you sleep under?
There's usually a blanket. So there's like the bedspread
so
that's
like
just
the
for
top.
show.
Okay.
Yeah. Take that off. They don't wash them.
Did you ever hear the Vegas story with Barry?
No.
I don't think you've ever heard this one. This is a really great Barry story. And so we're staying at the Aria, and we have 2 adjoining rooms. Ian's in one room.
Oh, I thought you made Barry stay in the other room by himself.
And so I wake up, and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, turn off the lights. Yeah, I'm feeling like he's not there. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of weird. And so I go into Ian's room. I'm like, "Ian, is Dad in here?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, and so I'm looking at Ian's bathroom. I'm like, he's like not. And the Vegas rooms are small. I mean, and Barry's small.
He's not
but
hiding somewhere.
He's not that small.
Did you check all the drawers?
Yes, exactly. So I'm like, oh crap. So I said to Ian, I said, "You know what? I got to get dressed. Maybe he's down in the casino or something. I got to go find him. I'll put the do not disturb sign on the door. Don't answer the door. If I need you, I'll call your phone." All that mom stuff.
Sure.
Okay. So as I'm getting all this together, unbeknownst to me, is Barry has left the room, and he decided that it'd be a good idea to go down to the casino. But when he got down to the casino floor, he realized that he had a golf shirt on with no underwear.
Do you have pants on?
No pants.
Wait a minute.
My God.
How is this not the most viral video I've ever seen in my life?
Okay, so he gets down, and he turns around, and then he can't remember what floor he's on. Okay, he doesn't have a phone or anything on him.
Well, he doesn't have pants. I wouldn't think he would have a phone.
Okay, so he gets to the 4th floor, and the elevator opens. And he told me there were 4 church ladies standing there.
Of course.
And he's like, and he said, now he's starting to wake up. He's getting a little indignant, and he's like, "What's the matter? You haven't seen a man with a golf shirt before?" So then,
it's their fault.
Yes. So then he decides that he's probably on the 22nd floor.
Is he going up?
Yes, he's going up because he went down. Now he's on the way back. 22nd floor, and he gets out of the elevator, looks down left and right, and every floor in a casino looks the same.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, so he decides that he's probably going to go to another floor. So
22 didn't feel right.
right. So he goes to like 26, gets out, gets to 27. And then that's when I'm about ready to open the door. Okay. And I look at him and I said, "Get your butt in here. You have no pants on."
The elevator opens and you see your
Husband.
Hansel's
Donald
husband.
ducking it in a hotel.
I was going to say Winnie the Pooh.
Same thing.
But yes.
That's insane.
Okay.
Was it Ambien?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh.
Now that you know what I told them
I
after
was
that.
concerned for him.
You're
for
not
a minute.
allowed to have
No.
Ambien.
No
I used to
Ambien.
work with your husband.
Yes.
We worked together for like 14 years.
Did he wear pants?
Sometimes, but it wasn't really the point. But one day he came to work and we did the first segment and he was not making any sense. And we go to commercial and I'm like, "What is wrong with you?" He's like, "I think instead of my cholesterol medication, I took an Ambien."
Oh, no.
Yeah, we had to send him home because he had taken a full Ambien instead of his cholesterol. Yeah.
You know, this was, okay, so then he was like tapering off
Yeah.
of
Sure.
the Ambien. And so one day I'm going to work or get all dressed and go into the garage and I open the door to the garage and I hear the car going, bum, 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 bum. And the garage door is closed.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, okay. And I went back into the bedroom. I said, "Okay, we really have a problem here."
Seriously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, what part of you thought that you were going to be driving someplace? Okay. And then what part of you thought like it would be a good idea to start the car and with the garage door closed? So, yeah, we're
That's
not
bad
No more
news,
Ambien.
man.
we're not on any more Ambien. No more.
That's
okay.
rough.
Okay. I know those are. So there are some life lessons in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't touch the batteries.
Yep.
Okay. And don't take Ambien.
Always wear pants to bed.
Yes. Okay.
Don't use the bedspread in a hotel.
Yes, exactly.
If you do, use it as pants.
Yes, something like that.
I can't believe he went bottomless.
You know what?
That's
You know
absurd.
what? And it was just so weird because, I knew that he had to go down because he left all his jewelry, and Barry never leaves the house without his wedding ring. I mean, I don't have it on now, but I mean, he's just, it's like his thing. And so when all that was out, that's when I was like,
You thought something was
this
wrong.
is
Yeah.
bad. And it was. It was bad.
it was bad.
It was bad.
So Andrew, save us with a great iPhone tip.
All right. So I saw this on TikTok and I had never seen this before. And I was blown away. And I tested it multiple times and I thought it was so cool. And then I was talking to the producers of this show. I'm like, "This is going to be my tip this week." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, that sounds cool." And then right before I came, I was going to do one more last search to see if there was other things I could connect to it. And I found that this tip was already given out by Kim Commando in 2022.
Oh, no.
But I'm still going to give it to you. And I clicked on the link, so I gave you the nickel. And this is for your iPhone if you're using a calculator. And let's say you're adding together a bunch of numbers. So you're like 785 plus 126 plus 415. And instead of typing in 415, you type in 425. Well, most people hit the clear button, start over. You don't have to. You can just take your finger, put it right next to the number, and swipe to the left. And it deletes the digit.
Incredible.
Dum, 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 dum.
You already knew that because you told people about it a year ago.
But I bet some of those people forgot.
Yeah, they sure
And
did.
all our new listeners.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great tip. I've already used it like 10 times since I've learned it.
So what are you adding
You do
up?
a lot of math.
I'm just using it because it's cool to
Ah,
use.
I see.
I'm not
Okay.
really adding anything.
So you're
Gotcha.
not like sometimes what I like to do is I'm walking through an airport. Is I first started doing this with Ian, so I'd hold my phone up to my ear and go, "I don't care how much the stock is, buy 10,000 shares."
Yeah, I'm calculating all my stocks. That's what I'm doing.
With his calculator app, it's not going
That's
well.
how a portfolio works, right? You just go on
Yes.
your calculator app to see how well you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're right.
All right. So now you have some more iPhone tips.
I do, and these are actually new tips. No offense. Yeah.
shot.
iOS 17 is here. If you have not updated your phone, you have all kinds of new fancy features. Just a couple I want to tell you about. Standby mode is actually really cool. Have you seen these pictures where essentially you put your phone up on a stand and it turns into a little clock
Okay.
instead of having all of your
you know
regular.
what? I love that.
That is cool.
You know what?
Yeah.
Because finally, your phone does something. But we're having a little argument in the bedroom about this.
Go on.
because on my side of the bed, I use my iPhone on a little stand.
That way, sideways?
Yeah,
Like
sideways.
you're
Yeah,
showing
you
us?
put
Okay.
it. Yeah, you
and
put
so
it
it's like-
horizontal.
Yeah, you're horizontal, and it shows you like the little clock, and then if you're
got the weather.
and yeah, it's just all kinds
How
of
come
really
it's not doing it right now? Because it's not charging?
because I have it on Do Not Disturb.
Oh, okay.
And all that other stuff that I have going on, but it's or I'm not sure why it's not working right now.
Maybe because it's not charging. So it's not, it
That's
doesn't think
probably
it's
it.
on a stand.
Yeah, you know what? You're right because it's not charging. And so Barry went out and bought these big clocks, digital clocks that like the numbers are like 4 inches high.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean, and he bought one because we just moved into this house, and he bought one for 4 other bedrooms.
Okay.
And I'm like, why do we have these big old man clocks in every bedroom?
Yeah.
And he said, well, because this way when people stay here, they'll know what time it is.
Sure, there's no other way to know.
Barry, literally no one wants that. No, but it's just going to keep people up. Nobody wants extra bright lights in the room.
No, they don't.
No.
And
I'm sorry,
4
Barry.
inches.
oh, it's huge. It's huge.
So are you going to win this fight? Is the clock going to go
How long
away?
have you known us? Come on, really?
Is he going to put a sign above the clock that says clock with an arrow
yes.
pointing down to it?
Oh my God, you should see the signs. You should see the signs. Okay, you know what? And so here I am walking in Santa Barbara down the street. Okay, and this woman comes up to me and she's like, hi, do you live at the end of the street? And I said, yeah. And she goes, oh, we haven't had a chance to meet. It's so nice to see you. And I'm who she is. And I'm like, and you're Kim and all this other stuff. I'm like, yeah. She goes, you have a lot of signs in your yard. And I said, yeah.
Yes, we do.
We do. I said, my husband's really into signs. He likes signs. And she's like, the one about private property, no trespassing. I'm okay with that. But the sign that says armed response, that seems to be a little much for this neighborhood.
That sign's not for you. It's for people who want to break in. You should have told her. Don't worry about the sign. Just use the size of our clocks.
Dazzle her with the clocks. There you go. Okay, back to standby mode.
Yes.
A nice thing about this too, it's a low power mode, so your phone it's using like 20% less battery. So,
But if it's charging while it's on the stand, it really doesn't matter, right? Because you're charging and using at the same time.
fine,
Okay.
fair enough. Let me write to Apple and tell them we don't fall for that PR.
Tell them good job.
Good job,
Same thing
guys.
with the iPhone 12. The
Yeah.
radiation is high in France, but not in the United States.
Oh no, it's only
I was
for French
worried.
people.
I was worried.
Yeah, it's the cheese.
Chocolate.
Yeah. This is very exciting news, seriously huge. Okay. For the first time ever on your iPhone, you can set 2 timers at once.
Bum, 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 bum. Mind blown.
You couldn't do that before?
I know. That's exactly.
When
I know.
do you need to
I've-
set
I've
2
been-
timers at once?
If you're cooking 2 things.
Yeah, if you're Kim. I do 2 timers all the time because I have an Android and I've been doing that for
Well, 2
20 years
2
on
timers.
it.
You're talking about timers, but you can set 2 alarms at once.
Oh, you could always do that.
Yeah,
But
okay.
timers, actual timers, yes.
Gotcha.
So you can do 2 timers, great. That actually is pretty handy. So if you want to do that. And then maybe what I think is the coolest is the check-in feature. Have you used this yet?
Not yet.
Okay. We all have those people in our life. Maybe you are that person that text me when you get home. Let me know when you're safe. That kind of thing. The check-in feature will automatically alert someone when you've arrived at your destination. So it's kind of like location tracking, but not quite. It's not like Find My where they can watch you on the
Right.
whole thing. They get, okay, they have gotten to their destination. If your phone battery runs out, they get that.
That's
so
good.
Yeah. So if it's like,
Yeah, I like
she's
that.
not, in a ditch somewhere. She just doesn't have any
Right.
signal. Or she doesn't have any battery. Same with Signal. If you don't have any cell connectivity, it tells them that. So I think that one's pretty sweet.
That's nice.
If you have people in your life that you want to know, like, yeah, I'm safe. And then one more bonus. I love this. A lot of chat apps have this now, and you can finally do it on an iPhone. So say you get 3 texts from someone in a row, and you want to respond to the first one. It's going to look like you're responding to the third one. You can swipe the text that you want to respond to, and then a little thing will pop up that basically says, like, yeah, this is the message I'm responding to. So it previews the message so they know what the heck you're talking about.
That's new.
And that is new. It's
Okay.
new for iPhone.
So I
Yeah.
must have had the update because I can do that now. When you reply to a message, it shows
It's
it
nice.
basically like in a little shadow above it
Yes.
and then your message below.
Exactly.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Then you can also edit, take the messages back. There's
Yeah.
a whole bunch of new things that you can do with
Yeah.
that. All right, coming up, we're going to talk about how Siri saved a motorcycle rider that was hit by a lightning bolt. Yes. Allie, what are you going to be talking about?
Setting up meeting times. So that horrible thing that happens when you are going back and forth with people through email forever to find a time to talk or to go on vacation or whatever. Better ways to do it.
We got that. All right, and then also we have a great joke at the end. Super funny. Allie's on joke duty this week. And then, of course, there's a whole bunch more you don't want to miss. Now, listen, this is not the Kim Komando Show podcast. I said that once before. This is Kim Komando Today. Now, we also have our daily tech update, and that's just 2 minutes. Andrew, if I gave you 2 minutes, what could you do in 2 minutes?
I could listen to your podcast. That's what I'm supposed to say, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But say it again, not like a hostage.
Oh, okay. I could listen to the Kim Komando 2-minute podcast.
Excellent. How about you, Allie?
I could brush my teeth thoroughly.
While you're listening to the Kim Komando Daily Tech Update
Well, of
podcast,
course.
see?
2 minutes. Overachiever. Brushing your teeth for 2 minutes.
I just go till the toothbrush turns
You
off.
could take the dog out. You could make tea or coffee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wherever you get your podcast, make sure that you get the daily tech update. So every single day you get one news story and you get one life hack, like the calculator tip that I passed along about a year and a half ago. That's okay. So again, that's the daily tech update. All right. So here's the what the heck headline of the week. Siri, I need to start CPR. And she's just wanted to start CPR. Sorry, Siri. All right, so we're going to go to Virginia. There's this guy, Noah's driving down on his Harley Davidson, probably going to call 911. Stop it. My gosh. Okay. Noah's driving down on his Harley Davidson, and then a thunderstorm rolls in. And then he's like 2 miles from his house. He thinks like, okay, I can make this. Well, okay, a lightning bolt goes straight through his helmet down to his body. Burns his silver necklace to his skin and sent him hurling across the road. Now, a couple is driving by, Erica and her fiance. They see the whole thing. They jump out of their Jeep. And then they're like, we check his pulse. And then they don't know how to do CPR. So she actually asked her Apple Watch, and the watch just walked her through exactly all the steps on how to do that.
Awesome.
Wow.
And saved his life. Which brings up the point that you don't want to do this on YouTube. Because on YouTube, they show you a whole bunch of ads
Sure.
before.
Right after this Candy Crush ad, we are going to save your life.
It's only
I
15
promise.
seconds. It's fine.
Yes.
It's not fine.
No.
Where's the skip button?
Yes, exactly. So, you always want to call 911. Little PSA there. All right. So I've been going through some of the emails that we've been getting. So I thought I'd just read a few of them. Here's one. Am curious as to whether Kim is male or female. Doesn't matter, really.
Sure.
Just curious.
Female?
Female.
Oh, that's right. Female.
Decidedly female.
Yes.
I thought in 2023 gender didn't matter.
I don't know why.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They just want to know.
Okay, now here's one that I know is in the old man grumpy voice.
Okay.
Kim Commando. I've tried several of the tech fixes you've given, and they're not usually accurate. Example, the steps in Today aren't available on my Samsung.
Oh, that's because we hate Samsung.
Yes,
Right.
we hate Samsung.
No, but seriously, there are so many different Android models. We can't write perfect steps for every Android
Right.
model. We should probably just put in a disclaimer most times that, like, results may vary. Your phone is
most
different.
phones.
Yeah.
But people wouldn't care. They still like to complain.
They do. And then
old men.
so when I got this little complaint, I said, let's just look at the ratings. Okay, so we have about 13,090 people who gave us a thumbs up,
Okay.
and we have 246 thumbs down.
I will take that all day.
That's
pretty good.
That's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is about Abby. And that's my golden retriever.
Okay.
Abby sounds like she has it pretty darn good in your household.
You think?
She does. Okay.
Have you seen this? Kim posted this video. Abby has a very funny behavior. She loves water.
Yes, she does.
Kim, this has happened a couple times.
Right.
Kim looks out in the backyard. Abby is sitting in the spa by herself, just hanging out in the water.
She does. She's standing in the middle, like
just kind of bopping.
just like having a great old time.
It's so cute.
Is Barry standing right next to the spa with no pants on and just a golf shirt?
That could be too. All right, this one, I debated whether or not
Oh, boy.
that I should read this one.
Oh.
Well, you definitely should then.
Yeah,
You
that's
read the one who thinks you're a man. I think you're okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm transitioning. All right, you ready? I picture Allie as a little roly-poly chubby nerd.
What?
Is she? If she's not, I'm a good-looking 35-year-old man with some money in Arkansas.
There you go.
First of all, that is the worst way to hit on a woman I've ever heard of in my whole life.
All he's asking is for you not to be roly-poly. Otherwise, go get his Arkansas money.
What do you think?
What am I supposed to say to that? No.
I can tell you right now, she's not roly-poly or chubby.
No.
There you go, Mr. Arkansas.
Is she a nerd?
She's not roly-poly or chubby.
Also,
That's
Mr.
it.
Arkansas probably doesn't realize we have a YouTube channel where we have videos.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
look at her.
See for yourself, you creep.
He's too busy at a family reunion.
Next, he's going to ask for pictures.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, God, I'm going to get hate mail from everybody in Arkansas now. Oh.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
delete.
All right. And then I like this one. I sent this one to you.
Yes.
I just started listening to the podcast with Andrew. I love hearing him again. I'm so glad you have him. And we're so glad that you're here,
Thank you.
Andrew.
I
We are.
appreciate that. And I'm glad that my family members know how to send you messages. Phenomenal.
They spelled Babinski right. There's always a clue there.
You know, it's a relative.
Hey, if you're not already following us on social media, you get those great videos of like Abby just dancing around in the spa, among other things. Also, I went to a polo match. Have you ever been to a polo match?
No.
Yeah, I went to a polo match a couple of weeks ago.
Is that explain the ascot that you're wearing today?
No, this is like, I was just trying to have some sophistication.
Oh, it's working.
Was it fun or boring?
Were you poloing or just watching polo?
I was just watching drinking champagne.
Okay.
Oh, so it was fun.
So they could have removed the polo. You still would have had a good
Well,
time.
I didn't quite know what was going on. But the thing that I found fascinating is that, you know me in sports.
Huge sports fan.
Huge.
The most wasted Super Bowl tickets in the history of mankind have gone to her multiple times.
Yes.
Makes
I like
sense.
when I was cheering for both
Both
sides.
Good job. Do it.
And the people in front of me like, lady, pick a goddamn team. I'm like, oh my God. But the best part of the polo match is halftime.
Okay.
Okay.
Are there dancers?
No, this is so much fun. Because I was like, what's going on? So what they do is they roll out like the champagne carts in the
Okay.
middle of the field. Now, a polo field is 3 times the size of a football field.
Okay.
Okay. So they roll out the champagne carts right in the middle. And then everybody who's in the stands, they come out and they get a couple of free glasses of champagne. Well, while they're walking around, is that they're pushing the divots down
That's so
on
cool.
the field.
Okay, that's really cool.
I thought that was like the funnest part of being at the polo match.
Where was this?
In Santa Barbara.
Okay.
Montecito, that's where, Prince Harry plays.
Sure, absolutely.
I'd love to go to a polo match someday. Will you take me someday?
Yes,
Okay,
I
great.
will. Absolutely. All right, coming up, Allie's Tech Life Upgrade on how to do meeting times the better way, right?
No more emails.
And then we have a joke at the end.
We do.
Funny or not?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
All right, so you don't want to miss that. Hey, it's Kim Commando today. We're so glad that you're here. And if you learned just one thing or if you laughed just one time, what that means is that you need to do us a favor. You need to hit subscribe, follow, so this way you get our podcast delivered automatically, as well as, give us a nice 5-star review. We don't want a 2-star, a 3-star, 4-star.
I've been
5-star.
listening to this whole show. This is a 5-star show.
Okay. And they can say some nice things about it too, right? In the comments.
Yeah, Alan Hendrickson, he's so funny. Is that your name?
Roly Poly
Alan Henderson.
Alan Henderson.
Roly Poly Alan.
Yeah, Roly Poly Alley is such a little nerd. Kim is so sporty.
Kim's
Huge
voice is
sports
changing.
Can't wait to meet that guy.
Exactly.
He's the best. I hate those emails, and we send them sometimes, Kim, where it's like, can you do 11 on Monday? No. Can you do? And you go back and forth forever, and it's awful, and it's boring, and even hearing me talk about it is awful and boring. We don't want to do that. There are better ways. A meeting scheduler. These used to just be for I would always get them from salespeople who would say hey, want to learn about our product? Schedule 15 minutes with me on my Calendly. And that's fine, and it's handy for that purpose. That's what that is.
I know what you're saying.
That's
Yes.
what that is.
I know what's coming.
Yes, you've probably seen that in people's email signatures,
Yeah.
right? Like book with me. Well, it's not just for salespeople. It's for all of us. I turned mine on because Google made its own. Yes, we're back to Google. This is, I'm sorry to Calendly, because essentially Google built it into Gmail and Google Calendar now.
Oh, that's not good for them.
No, it's not. Yeah.
No.
So you can set up in your calendar basically a public view where you can say, here's a link I can send to anyone and they can book times with me on this schedule that I say. So it doesn't have to be like, here's my whole entire schedule. It can be, here's 30 minutes I make available for this, whatever it is. So you can do that. It works really well. If it is family or coworkers, though, I say you just have shared calendars. And that's essentially where I can search for Kim because we work together. I can see her calendar and I can know Kim's busy or Kim's not.
Yeah, see, and that's it. See, that a lot of people don't want that because they don't want to have like on their calendar like what they're doing at that particular
Here's the
moment.
thing, though. You can set the privacy level, essentially, which is what we have here. Most people have theirs set to private. And so I just see that Kim's busy.
It's blocked out.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't see exactly what the appointment is. I don't know exactly what she's doing. And, same for everybody else.
Spa day.
Polo match 1,
Sure.
polo match 2.
Yeah, obviously. This is good for family. Probably for family, you don't care about making it private, like having it with your spouse, right? So you can have each other's calendars and know that, like, all right, I can actually schedule dinner for Wednesday night, and it's not when you're at the polo match or
With your girlfriend.
pantsless at the casino. Yes.
Pantsless at the
That's
that
going to be a great callback.
Oh, yeah.
That should be a name of like an emo band.
yes, it should be.
Pantsless at the casino. Yeah. That's
You know
actually the new
what?
album from Fall Out Boy. And one more thing. So this is kind of an etiquette tip. If you have access to your coworkers' calendars, you should check before you book a meeting because it's rude if you schedule meetings when someone is in another meeting.
And we've all had that. I literally had 4 things at 10 o'clock on a Wednesday.
Yes.
And I have to do all the legwork.
Then the work is on you
to get it figured out.
because Jim didn't see if you were busy at 10.
Stupid Jim.
Stupid Jim.
Jim. Yeah, hate Jim.
All right. So no more emails, right?
Okay, right. We're
Yes.
just going to do it that way.
Yes. We're going to share
Easy.
our links. There we go.
Okay, so we always like to leave people laughing, and sometimes the jokes are good. Your joke was okay.
You guys both laughed.
That
and
was
I'm
a-
sure you retold
No,
it.
we did not.
Time and time
you know
again.
what? I was trying just to be courteous and
I don't
nice.
need your pity
Because
laughs.
it was a child's joke.
I'm going to
Yes.
use that as an excuse every week. This is from my son. This is from a cousin.
Well, this joke is from my son. I don't have a son. But you know what? It made me laugh. I think it's pretty good. So there's an old Italian man. He lives alone in the country. It's spring and he wants to dig up his tomato garden like he does every year. But it's hard. He's old and his only son, Vincent, who used to do it for him, is in prison. He wrote Vincent a letter and said, I feel sad. I don't think I'm going to be able to dig up the garden this year. I'm just too old. If only you were here. Love, Dad. And a few days later, he gets a letter that says, Dear Dad, not for nothing, I would not dig up that garden. That's where I buried the bodies. Love, Vinny.
Vinny.
4 a.m. the next morning, FBI agents and the police get to the old man's house and they dig it all up. They don't find anything. And so they say, like, man, sorry, we don't know what's going on. And they leave. The same day, he gets another letter from his son. Dear Dad, plant the tomatoes. That's the best I could do under the circumstances. Love, Vinny.
That was cute.
It's heartfelt.
Yeah, it's
That
a sweet
was-
joke.
I mean, you have a son that's a horrible criminal, but it's heartfelt.
You
He
don't know
cared
what he
about his
did?
father.
That's true. I don't know what he, but he's in prison. It's not like he's in the county jail.
Those monsters.
I always like when I get those emails and notes from people who listen to us in prison. I mean, and they always like, can you write me back? No. Okay, I'm not writing you back.
But we are glad you're listening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, and so hit subscribe if the bailiff lets you.
Yes, exactly. All right. So, we always have fun doing these podcasts, but we love to get your feedback. And so we have a special email address set up. It's podcasts@commando.com, podcast with an S @commando.com. And just keep in mind that we all read those notes. So make sure that they're very nice. And we don't want any old man grumpy notes about how much you hated it and you'll never listen.
If you're going to call anybody roly-poly, put it in the subject line so we can just delete it immediately.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So thanks for being here. Don't forget, get all the other podcasts Monday through Friday. And those newsletters.
Oh,
Come on.
How else is she going to get to 4 million?
Come on. GetKim.com. GetKim.com. I mean, you know what? You guys are going to laugh. I'm even taking the sign off the building in the front. I'm going to just have it say Get Kim.
Why would I laugh? That makes complete and perfect sense
Love
of
that.
everything I know about you.
It's 100,000 people driving by.
Right.
Okay.
Free advertising.
We ought to have some. Remember how we used to do contests? Are you still afraid of flying?
No, I'm actually doing really good.
Are you?
Yeah, I figured out a stupid trick that's really dumb, but it actually works.
Okay, what is
Ambien?
it?
I eat yogurt.
Excuse me?
The day I'm supposed to fly, I have yogurt. And it settles my stomach, so even if I have anxiety,
Oh,
I'm
that's
good.
so nice.
And I've flown multiple times by myself, no issues.
That's
Gosh,
fantastic.
that's amazing.
Proud of
And he's
you.
regular.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.
If you only have a 401k, you're not getting the most for retirement.
Wait, what?
Add a Robinhood IRA on top, then they'll boost it by 3%.
You can do that?
And if you transfer in any retirement account, you get 3% on top of that.
Is there a limit to the match?
No limit. Robinhood Gold gets you the biggest contribution match of any IRA on the market. Sign up for Robinhood Gold at Robinhood.com/boost by April 30th. Subscription fees apply.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires gold for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Match on transfers subject to additional terms and conditions. Robinhood Financial LLC. Member SIPC.